Welcome to Complexity Made Simple. My name is Paul Allen, and the subject of today's video newsletter, where we're going to talk about principles, not tools. If you're trying to improve your process, if you're trying to make your systems work better, more efficiently, defect-free, etc., the best companies in the world, they go for principles, not tools. And what I really mean by that, it's so easy when you're trying to copy best practice to look at what they do and they say, oh, well, we use, and they name a load of tools. And what we do is we copy them. We copy these. If you don't understand these, you really don't understand what you're doing. Now, before we get into this, let me just remind you, please click subscribe, go and look at the 500 videos that are available on this channel. Please leave a comment, which is always great. If you want to ask me some questions, ask me to make a different video, also good. There's a buy me a coffee link if you want to make a donation to help the channel. That's also very helpful. And finally, of course, books. My black belt books, my yellow belt books. There's a link there. Go buy the books that contains all the great stuff from these videos. So let's get back to this. Principles, not tools. Now, as I go into my clients, as I see companies, what are the tools that I see them constantly using that are simply tick box, and they have no idea why they're doing them? So let's have a look at a few of these. They're filling out FMEA forms. Classic one. No idea why they're doing it. Usually it's because a customer tells them to, so they fill out the form. Nobody enjoys the meeting, they're boring, they take a long time. Everybody's heart sinks when they say you're going to an FMEA meeting. FMEA, what else we got going on? Usually for the same reason. They're filling out statistical process control charts. No idea why. What's the other thing they're doing? Oh yes, this famous one. They're doing ISO 9001. They treat it as a gold medal to be won. They hide all the problems from the auditor. I know you wouldn't do this. Then when the auditor's gone, they get all the problems out and they go back to normal. And that 2-3 day audit was of no value to them whatsoever, except to stick a certificate on the wall. Let's have a look. Are there any others? There is another one. Ah, yes, the other one, of course, 5S. 5S equals cleaning, equals housekeeping. My God, what are we doing when we start doing things like this? Now, the reason why all of these goes wrong is because you're just implementing the tool, you're not implementing the principles. So let's look at some important principles that I use, which make processes work really well, get the best out of them, and allows continuous improvement. So if you don't follow these basic principles, continuous improvement can't work, can't be sustained. So there's some basic principles. By the way, Lean is doing this, Six Sigma is doing this. So basic principles: inputs, control, outputs. What else we got? Variation in equals variation out. Variation, by the way, it destroys customer service. So variation in equals variation out. You should always deal with variation first, then deal with targets second. Now we'll leave it there with those three principles. Now those three principles are supposed to be buried in these. They're supposed to be buried in these. If you attach these properly to these principles through the physics of your process, all of these things make you make more money like you wouldn't flipping believe. These are money-making monsters, but they are also money-making nightmares if you just implement them as a piece of paper. So what we're trying to do, take the basic process physics. You are trying to make money. That's what your systems are supposed to do. Out here, of course, are some performance measures, KPIs, customer service, etc. Profit, productivity, whatever you want to call it. Over here, of course, we've got the inputs. If you want to make money, over here, maximum amount of money. Inputs control outputs. You want to make money, you need to control the inputs. You need to get rid of the variation in the inputs, and you need to deal with variation first, worry about target second. So, these principles are in these tools, should be. So what's FMEA doing? It comes up with a control plan. What does the control plan do? It controls the inputs. Okay, so FMEA, so in other words, if I control this side, I make more money. Now, I know you sometimes hate your customers for forcing you to fill out this stuff because you hate them. Your customer is forcing you to make more money. Man alive, I wish I had customers like that. That's what they're forcing you to do. But if you just do this without this, you'll make less money. These will kill you if you do them wrong. They are money wasters like you wouldn't believe, but they are money makers like you wouldn't believe. So what else we got here? ISO 9000, what does it do? It's supposed to audit your control plan. So FMEA, you've made a brilliant control plan. The brilliant control plan makes more money. ISO 9000 audits the brilliant control plan that gets you to make more money. But if that's not built into these systems, they're just sitting, floating in the air, doing nothing. SPC. It is the most efficient method of control, of checking control. SPC sits here. Might be 1 or 2 charts, 1 or 2 measures. What's it doing? It's checking the 65 controls over here. That's what it's doing. It's helping you to maintain this. So you've created a brilliant control plan. You've got ISO 9000 that audits the controls. You've got SPC, real time. This is real time control of your control plan. What does 5S do? It visualizes control. That's what it does. So when you find a problem here, because the control is visual, it's really easy to put the control back in place and keep your process running exactly as you want it. So when you want to do root cause, we don't need 5 Ys and 8 Ds and flipping all sorts of crappy paperwork. We can literally put this back on target in 3 minutes flat. These things are money-making monsters, but they can be money wasters. Everybody's using this as a tidy up. Complete money wasting activity. Complete money wasting activity. You've forgotten that it was about being faster and easier, not about cleaning up. You've forgotten that this should be attached to your control plan. You've forgotten that this creates a brilliant control plan attached to these principles. Understand the principles of the tools and the systems of work that you've got. Attach them to this end of the process, and what will you do? You will make bucket loads of cash. By the way, there's other systems of work, things like TPM that are in there. They're attached to this. Writing a good standard operating procedure, All your standard operating procedures are attached to this. Everything in your business, everything the way people behave should be attached to those 3 principles right there. And if you do that, every tool you implement, when you get into lean, why do we do lean? What does lean do? Well, it does this. It controls variability, massive amounts of it in your planning system, and it makes material flow without stopping, without variation. That's what lean does. This is physics. It's the physics of making quality goods. It's the physics of delivering parts on time. And if you understand the principles of physics at play, all the tools, what do? They make money. Understand the principles. Push them through all of your skilled people, all of the people on the shop floor, and then watch your systems work and watch how successful you can be if you understand the principles of physics.